this. The first map was banging, the conversation's been out of this world. The second map's got to live up to the emotions we're dealing with tonight.
I've just got the name of that dinosaur pop up, and it's an absolute nightmare to pronounce, Jackie. I know as casters we deal with some tricky names from time to time, and we always seem to manage to get our tongues around it, but that's a tough one. I'm thinking it might be Pachycephalosaurus. I'm not sure on the beginning of it, but I don't know. That's a nightmare. What?
Hang on, I'll tell you what. I found the name. I'll do this right quick. I'll pop it into Google Translate and have it play it back to me. And then I'll tell you what we get.
I'll focus on the game. You worry about the pronunciation. We'll see how close I was. But looking back at the game, we are coming into round one. You didn't miss anything at all of Cafe. It is 0-0 on the scoreboard. NIP versus Team 1. Now, you can see up at the top of your screen there, Coastline was the first map. It was the pick of Team 1. And they came away with a big L taken to NIP, who managed to come in just absolutely full force. Psycho going 19-3, I think it was, overall as it finished. I mean, that might have been 19-5. I think he took a couple of deaths just towards the end. I'm not 100%. But one way or another, it was an absolute storm of a performance from Psycho, taking them over the line on Coastline. And that will put them one map to the good here. We are in a best of two, of course. So that leaves us with work to be done for NIP and Team 1 with a hope of being able to fight their way back into it. We haven't seen either of these teams play on Cafe so far, so it's going to be a surprise one way or another to us. There is plenty of twist in this tale yet, I am sure.
Right, now, Tim, I don't know how this has randomly worked out very on brand, but Google Translate, it fires it back as Pachycephalosaurus.
I wasn't too far away then.
Yeah, and I mean, it's literally got calf in the name somehow, so that's worked out pretty well.
That is fortuitous.
Oh, it is. It is. Right, well, here we go then. First round. Let's see who is going to go the way of the dinosaur into this opening round. Who will get smacked in the face, but not by a meteor, but by a much smaller, but very deadly bullet that will be delivered by one of these firearms. Right now, time ticking by, minute and 40 seconds. Haven't seen too much commotion. Slow and steady so far from NIP, right? Taking map control here and there, but Felipox towards the stairway, he does cut the top off of Psycho, cracking him open and shutting down the opening man, giving them an initial frag, making it 4 versus 5 towards the late round. Bullets coming back though through the soft wall. Pino's the one to bite, and he will crush right through Felipox's bones, decimating the Goyo and leaving us in a 3 versus 4. A Sledge climbing up towards the roof, Tim. I don't even know how he's been able to hit the shoes there, but he must have shot him in the legs.
Reduct's gone on a run out. Absolutely no two ways about it. I would imagine from the white stairs door that we see him near there, if he was able to get that sort of angle. Now, Moosey's just locking down the white stairs, knowing that the man is going to have to head back up there. Reduct, if he uses his head, thinks fast, he might just move away to the red stairs, but absolutely not. He tries to take the challenge onto Moosey on the tight angle, but will be shut down by the Ash. 3 versus 3 we find ourselves in. NIP, although Psycho has been taken off the board, the talisman is down. They are just still able, one way or another, to keep themselves fighting into this. And I said coming into the overall matchup that Team 1 were a team of 5 players able to find results, and NIP are showing that they are exactly the same here. Raps 1 versus 3 brings it to a 1 versus 2 with a kill on Moosey. Can he do this? Kamikaze is getting that diffuser down. There is 2 kills for Raps to find here. One man is on the rappel. That's not going to be easy. Can he prevent the diffuse? He knows exactly where it was going down. He hits shots. He can't follow it up though, and Kamikaze, after getting the diffuser on the ground, will close the round out with that final kill. And that is round 1 going to NIP, and this one continues in much the same vein as we saw happening on Coastline.
Boy, oh boy. From what was a nice opening frag for Team 1, it was a consistent round that was cleaned up by the janitorial squad of NIP, getting themselves a first round on the attack, continuing on from, of course, the trailblazing affair that was Coastline. Now, they're doing the same on Cafe. Can they keep that momentum, though? Will it follow through now into round 2? Or will things start to change for Team 1? Bit of a switch up in terms of the picks we get coming out as well. I do always like seeing a bit of Capital, Tim. I'm not going to lie to you, mate. Capital, for me, encompasses everything I'd want in an operator's kit. In terms, of course, the asphyxiation arrows, the smoke arrows. It's all there.
Capitão, I don't want to say he's an underrated operator because we all know how powerful he is, but he sneaks through the banning phase a lot. There are other attackers that get taken out before him, and I completely agree, Jackie, in terms of sort of, if you want to call him a solo operator, if you're in a situation where you just need to be able to do everything yourself, short of hard breaching, Capitão is the man. He has got such a complete kit. Smoke utility, as you say, asphyxiation arrows. He's got area denial. He can cover himself effectively to get a diffuser down if he has to do that. He's got a great weapon. He's 3-speed. He sells himself.
Oh, he does, honestly. You know, he slaps top of Capitão. This bad boy can fit so much utility inside him.
Absolutely. It doesn't even take a salesman, does it? It doesn't take a salesman. Right now, Team One, they're going to have to buy something different than they've been bringing home so far because it is absolutely not putting anything on the table for them. 1-0 NIP. It's only early days here on Cafe and there is work to be done for them. That much is for sure. But right now, Team One just don't seem to have an answer. They're heading back to Bar and Cocktail again. That's the site that we saw them lose first time around. And again, it just didn't feel like they were drastically close to it. NIP were in charge through the majority. They had a great opener with Felipox finding the answer to Psycho and finally shutting him down. But then it just all seemed to rain against them and they found themselves in a tough 1v2 with Diffuser on the ground to finish things off. Kamikaze locking it out for NIP. And 1 minute 30, we have got a very brave drop from the skylight there. It's still 5 versus 5, but in come the kills. Psycho and Muzi, they find 2 immediately. Kamikaze gets himself on the board. That's 3 kills, 3 operators. NIP, everybody's getting in on the party here. And this is top floor control almost completely gained. Kamikaze goes and gets the man from Freezer. Flawless round after a skylight drop. Psycho 2 on the round. Surely he's not kicking off again. NIP are unstoppable right now.
Dude, this is ridiculous. This is the NIP team that we saw win the major. This is the NIP team that we have seen go from strength to strength, growing on a global scale exponentially. It is beautiful to see them playing this well domestically. There's been times, right, where they can really go with some of the best in the world and leave them in their dust. But for some reason, in domestic matchups, it feels like they hit a bit of a brick wall at times against their Brazilian counterparts. But this stage, that has not been the case. Last time around in stage 1, when they faced up against Team Liquid, it was 2 draws. This time, it was a win for NIP and a loss, of course, and a draw, rather, on the second map, which is already growth than we've seen versus Team Liquid. Coming into this matchup versus Team 1, the team that was seed 1 into the last major, Tim, they're backhanding them. That round was flawless. That was over in a matter of seconds. You blink and you miss it. NIP are showing they are, if not the best team in Brazil, potentially one of the biggest bright sparks of a squad we could see over the course of this year if they keep up this level of growth and prowess on the server.
You look at this and there must be some teams in the back of the minds thinking, oh, it's not the end of the world that we don't have to play NIP because we're in a different region. You know, that's the bottom line of it at the minute. NIP are looking scary today. They really are, and the thing is, Jackie, beyond this game, there's plenty to stick around for if we talk about scary teams, because I said at the beginning of the broadcast, I'm looking forward to seeing MIBR because they were electric when they saw them for the first time, and if they can continue in that same vein, it just shows the breadth and depth of talent that we've got in the LATAM region as well.
Oh, dude. So damn good. So many big personalities. So many incredible fraggers. And we're really seeing that. The aiming capabilities of LATAM is one of the biggest takeaways you will ever see from the region. And we've seen that coming out in true form tonight with players like Psycho decimating and destroying anyone that dares to put their head anywhere near his crosshair. Again into this round. Look, no damage done for NIP. Not been live long, and look how much damage has been done with stray bullets onto both Felipox and Lukid, both of them taking a bit of a side swiping, leaving them close towards an early death already. This has been a rough start for Team 1 into this round. They've been forced out of the positions they wanted to place. They can't hold those aggressive, deep map control spots. Instead, they have to back further up, turtle up closer towards the site, and look to try and play very defensive from this point forward. They're getting spotted out as well from the drone play, so any of your roamers that were still having the confidence to roam, they've now been sniffed out and have to rotate off.
It just feels at the minute for NIP like some of these players, Jackie, could fire a bullet in the air and it'd kill somebody as it fell back to earth. Muzi finding the headshot onto Felipox there. He does get the nitro kill. Just as he dies, he manages to hit that plunger and get the explosion off that will take a man off the board. Psycho losing his life to that, but Julio, he gets one to keep the advantage for NIP and keep that pressure on to Team 1. Now 4 versus 3, we find ourselves with still a minute 10 left on the clock. Luke at half health pretty much. 400 HP left for NIP, but how about Redux here? I'm not sure NIP are aware that he's up on the top floor. The Capitao of Julio could well come together with him if he pushes too far forward here. It looks exactly like that is what's going to happen, and surprise, surprise, Redux pops out, absolutely unknown that he was there, and gets the kill onto Julio. But once again, NIP just find the trades time after time. They keep themselves in charge. 2 versus 1 as again the trade comes in, and that is something that NIP are doing so well here on Cafe.
Oh no. Costly loss there, with Falls not being able to confirm that kill against Pino, putting us down into a 1 versus 2. Lukid, is he ready for the push to come around? Over the banister, he breaks the back of Muzi, dead before he even hits the deck. And it is all left in this. A 1v1, drops down, tries to clear the angle, a sneaking suspicion of where he's located, but holds. Not going to fully commit to push in, waits to play in the 1v1 post-plant. Knows he's close, couldn't have rotated off, didn't spot him go through the fireplace, he peeks in! He gives him a fighting chance, the confidence of the man to swing, but Pino doesn't clean up, doesn't get the frag. Lukid wins it in the clutch, jumps on the diffuser, and cracks that bad boy wide open, giving a first round to Team 1 finally.
Big moment for Lukid there. Team 1 needed something on the board. They couldn't go 3-0 down. They couldn't suffer a full rotation of losses there on the defense. They needed to get a toe into this game, and that is all that they have received there. They are still slipping down the cliff face that is this NIP team right now, but they've just managed to grasp on with fingertips, Jackie, and stop that fall. They have stalled it for the time being, and they have the opportunity now to just cling on and try to drag themselves back into this slowly but surely. Beautiful opener with the headshot there from Muzi to start things off, but Team 1 kept themselves fighting, managed to get themselves back into it. It was a bold decision from Lukid at the end there to almost allow that plant to go down. He knew it was happening, but he knew the moment to challenge was after that in the post plant, and he got the kill, put the confidence in himself to do that, and then moved through and got the disable onto the diffuser. So well played from Team 1. And it's just a ray of sunshine. It's a glimmer of hope for them, Jackie.
Potentially the start of a new chapter for them here. But they need to double down on it. It's 1-1v1, Tim. How many of those rounds are we going to see go their way? How many times would that literal second of both of them peeking into one another go in favor of NIP? If it was a slightly different second, slightly faster reaction time, so many different factors that could have meant this was a 3-0 scoreline still for NIP. You can't rely on those rounds. It's a good thing they got it, and it definitely is a start. But of course, it's the sustainability that we always question. It's the first round they've got. Let's hope that that's a one-off, and now they'll start to get back into some more cleanly cut rounds. Because all that's plaguing my mind, Tim, is the round where we saw NIP bombard their way in and kill each and every one of Team 1 in seconds. If those are the sort of plays they can make, charging through the skylights, rappelling in like a full SAS unit, breaking in through the windows and leaving no one breathing by the end of 10 seconds, that's scary. Team 1, their defense needs to be adjusted and ready to hold NIP accountable coming into round 4.
I don't think NIP will be keen to take on the skylight drop again, although they certainly are mounting themselves up around there. It's almost as if they're preparing for it, but surely you don't get away with that twice. Drop comes into red stairs, so I think we will see a more textbook take of this one, which usually involves the attackers getting themselves control of Piano and Cigar Shop to begin with, which is the west side of the map. And then they look to breach in towards the freezer with a plant spot generally just around about the bar area, closest to the cigar shop. Now, that could have been an interesting nitro toss, but the chance will not come along for Reduct as Muzi opens up his account in this round with a kill onto the Valkyrie. The nitro drops harmlessly to the ground and will sit there, never to be detonated, as the diffuser goes to the grave along with its wielder, as the Valkyrie loses her life. So 5 versus 4 coming into the halfway mark. NIP so far so good. They've got a tick in the box. They've got the control of piano that they need, and cigar shop is theirs, but they need to be aware of the roamers that are downstairs. Felipox has a nitro in hand and could hurt them vertically with the Goyo.
60 seconds left. The Goyo going for greatness, but unfortunately it will be a flash in the pan. As the nitro detonates, no one will receive glorious gift of death, and it will instead leave us in this position. A 5 versus 3 as Raps is turning in the corridor, though. We see the Goyo getting gunned down. Muzi acting kind of sus as he chases him from behind and slits the man's throat, leaving us in a 2 versus 5. 40 seconds left. Team 1, this round is almost over. It looks like it should be donezo, and I think it will be. Fall should be the last to fall with a shot. He misses the shot, but there's no turn from Muzi. He doesn't hear it, he doesn't react, but it won't matter, as Falls will still be cleaned up by Pino. Overpowered by the sledge that will smash him down with a mighty hammer. A killing blow to give another round to NIP, taking the total tally now up to a great position for them, Tim. Winning the half, 3-1.
Didn't matter, but Muzi just completely unaware that a shotgun had gone off right next to his ear there. He certainly didn't react to it, but it was last-ditch attempt from Falls.
It might have blown out the eardrums.
Maybe that's what it was. There was obviously something happened, but just completely unaware that the wall behind him had been absolutely peppered with shot there. But in a 1 versus 5, Falls was clutching at that point. He managed to get one impactless kill, pad the stats a little bit, but then shut down in the white corridor, and another round go to NIP. And right now, Team 1 completely unable to hold that top floor site. That's 3 attempts and 3 losses for them. So quite rightly, they head down to kitchen now. And what are we going to see on the attack? I hear you asking if you maybe newer to the game and haven't seen this map played out before. You're going to see attack basically from the left or right of your screen. So generally speaking, the attackers will move in from the top floor. They'll try to clear out the top and mid floors, get some vertical control, and then primary attacks tend to focus through the bakery, which is to the left of your screen. It's about moving in there. Once you've got that vertical control, open up the double wall that leads into site. Very nice default plant spot just in front of you around the grills inside of kitchen. But the alternative is to push through the freezer, and there's 2 ways to get in there. There is a wall that can be breached at the bottom of white stairs, or alternatively, quite popular recently, is opening up the hatch that is located in dining room and dropping into the freezer. But I think you probably agree with me when I say, Jackie, we haven't seen too many successful attacks come from that hatch drop into freezer. A little bit of a kill box in there, and we tend to see the teams just being completely shut down by the defenders when they do try it.
Oh yeah. It's never really worked out too well. Always risky business to go for those sort of plays. Now with only 2 rounds left, running risks is probably not what you want to do. We're going into round 5, 2 minutes and 20 seconds on the clock, as slowly but surely NIP do what they do best. Take map control and slowly spread themselves around the map. Muzi! He's dropped down! He's got a frag onto Felipox. There must have been some kind of commotion. They both gunned towards him. It was a 2 versus 1 and a free frag, but he's team killed. He's then suffered for his sins as well, getting gunned down, sold to Sauron, and leaving us in this position. A 4 versus 3 team where Raps replies onto Psycho. Oh, that is an awful way to kick off this round. Team 1 shooting themselves in the foot, quite literally.
NIP just causing chaos in the cafe right now. Team 1 spinning round left, right, on the heel. They have absolutely no idea where they are going to be attacked from next, and we can see it's starting to come to effect in HP on the board as they rein in team kills as well. And it really is never going to be a good day when that starts happening. We can see pressure mounting from the reading room here, but that's a nice rotation from Raps there just to get on the flank. Muzi, however, trades it out. It's something I've commented on. I'll pick up on again. NIP always able to pick up the trade. A challenge on the door at the close angle, and Raps is finding himself in a difficult position here. Shut down from multiple angles. You could see the white traces of the bullets just raining in from all around him there. Muzi ultimately the one to gain the kill, and Falls right now finds himself in a tough situation once again. Takes the long range challenge onto camera. kamikaze, but the rifle of the attacker, it just has the increased accuracy and the better range and will shut down the final defender. There you go. Crosshairs never missing. And that's going to be kamikaze closing out round 5 for NIP, 4-1. And this is going even worse than Coastline for Team 1 right now.
Oh, dude. It's unlucky, man. Especially, like, obviously it would have been great to have a different POV potentially there to catch what went down that initial fight, but from what it looked like, it seemed like, obviously, Muzi jumps over the banister. As he lands, bullets were shot towards him. We see the team kill crop up, so it would have been both of them in close proximity. There's been the unfortunate team kill on the side of Philippox. Then he's been able to get the trade-off. So effectively got a 1 for 2 off the back of nothing, where he should have died dropping down. They must have had it covered, Tim. That's rough. Also, a little bit unfortunate, the shotgun play from Falls, I believe, when he was up towards the doorway, tried to go for the wide swing out, looking to see if he can get a kill. Just didn't work out for him. But no cigar with the near miss against Muzi. And this has given Muzi an opportunity to really shine as well. It was Psycho who were ranting and raving about back on Coastline, but now you have to look at Muzi, quite literally rising from the ashes like the Phoenix. 9 frags to 3 deaths, looking very hot here on Cafe.
The attackers do tend to have a good day of things when playing on Cafe. We do see quite a bit of success sometimes. Defense can seem to be getting tougher. That much I will say. Obviously, top floor has been a particular struggle for Team 1 so far today. So they head back to Reading Room after 2 losses. They did win this site back in round number 3. They really desperately do need to put a round on the board. 5-1 is going to be very, very tough to come back from against this NIP team, whether they get themselves onto an attacking side that is being a little bit more successful here on Cafe or not. If anybody can find successful defenses, surely it is going to be NIP. They just seem to be able to find heads, attacks, defenses, anything really, left, right and centre. If you give them an inch right now, they are taking a mile. 30 seconds in, and they are taking their time, is what they're taking. But Pino, he won't take another second to get things going as he shuts down Raps with a nice entry, taking the mute off the board, and that is a nitro going along with the SAS operator as well. So it's almost like a double threat being removed from Team 1.
Oh dear, oh dear. Reduct overwhelmed as well as he tries to jump to avoid the drones that are going by his feet. And talking of which, Pino, he's been shot in the face and his legs will hit the ground first as he falls back over, bringing us back now into a 4 versus 4 split. We've got 1 minute and 50 seconds left onto this round. It is at least tied up, and it does stop them, making this one a very easy round. It looked like it could have been from that early entry frag. It was a great way to kick things off for NIP. But at least there is an opportunity here for Team 1 now going forward. Muzi, ever confident into rounds like this, trying to test the waters, Tim, pushing up quite aggressively there, seeing if he can find an early frag to again bring it back towards them, but it's Reduct that I was going to say would get the frag. Unfortunately for the Mozzie, there's going to be no awesome plays from the Aussie as he's dead, massacred. Ash comes out as well with another kill for Muzi. As soon as one kicks it off, they all start to instigate, and they are giving it now. NIP running away with this round, leaving it on Philippox and Falls. Can the double F brothers do anything?
Pedal to the metal for NIP here. They are absolutely not giving any quarter whatsoever to Team 1. They are piling the pressure on and just continuing with the aggression. And right now it feels like confidence is playing a huge part in this matchup on both sides of the table. Team 1 just seem to be losing those fights with 1 or 2 bullets going astray each time. But NIP, they are confident and pushing forward, aggressing into those gunfights and just shutting down Team 1 every single time. It's a head-to-head, a 50-50 fight. They seem to come away on top. Not that time, however, as Falls will get the first of 3 onto Julio, but he can't find the second. Muzi with the trade shuts him down. NIP take round 6, 5-1 on the scoreboard, and it's a matter of time, it feels, once again, Jackie. Team 1 didn't seem to have much of a chance on Coastline when it got to the half, and it doesn't feel like they have any more of one here on Cafe.
Oh, that's what's scary about it, right? You've given up that 5th round now. Can't afford to make mistakes, and it seems like there's been a few of those already throughout Cafe, so certainly the pressure has been put on them. Anything going wrong now for Team 1 will essentially seal the deal, putting NIP in a position where not only do they win the first map, they'll have a guaranteed draw here in the second of Cafe. They get another round on top of that. That's it. They're 2-0 versus Team 1. And a 2-0 versus Team 1 for what looked to be by far one of the hottest games of the day, potentially one of the big games of the season, Tim. That is a hell of a result, and it goes to show as a benchmark for where NIP are that they are really out for blood this season. They had a slow start into stage 1, if you remember rightly. It took them a couple of play days to get into it. They had a few losses, a couple of draws, whereas this season they are winning games that they lost last season. They are taking big 2-0s off majorities of teams. They're looking very, very good.
In reality, it took them about 7 play days last time around, Jackie. They were really, really slow to get going. They were lucky to keep themselves in the fight for the major at points. You know, they were being chased down throughout the season. They were sat in 4th place throughout, and there was a couple of moments where we thought that other teams were going to leapfrog and just drop them out of that position. But then the last couple of play days, they just managed to clinch it out, and the form continued to rise on a ever upward curving graph as it seems to be continuing here, and managed to win the major, and they've certainly brought that thunder into stage 2, and right now they are looking absolutely terrifying. Team 1, I would say, are certainly capable of better than they've shown us today. They do feel like they've been on a bit of an off day, but it's not really fair to call it too strongly like that, because NIP, I think, would have done this to absolutely anybody with the way they've played. They've just been hitting every single shot that they've taken, and the aggression has been there. Look at them, just ready for the jump out there, just hanging on those windows. It's the first defensive round, and they really want to send a message.
Not a message in a bottle. Rather, they've broken the bottle and they're looking to stab it straight in the face of any oncoming attackers from Team 1. They're looking ruthless. Let's see if they can leave Team 1 looking toothless. Shots going out early on from Muzi. A couple of pot shots towards the window seal, but he won't seal the deal early on to secure them an early entry frag. Instead, he'll have to wait and see when the push will come towards him. 2 concussion grenades being lobbed in. That will slow him down, so he can't exactly go for a wide swing. Meanwhile, over at the barn, towards Psycho's POV, we see that he's in close proximity as well. A lot of pressure being applied. They're basically going for a 2-pronged attack here into this round with a 3-2 split. Pino, though, splitting them in pieces as he gets the clear-cut angle back towards Lukid, gunning through them with the MP5 and waiting for more opportunity to gun them down.
Not enough effort from Team 1 here to impact or to disrupt that east balcony at the moment, I don't think. And NIP just being able to play in their preferred positions as they push back up White Stairs and look to get themselves re-established on the east side. Now, interestingly, Reduct, he is approaching that cocktail balcony, but I'm not sure he's going to apply any more aggression there. He's very aware of a potential jump out, and we can see now that NIP, they are ready to challenge onto that window. So Reduct at this point, he's going to find it very difficult to get on and make any meaningful contribution from there. But if he could, it could be a real swinging point on the round. What a great headshot from Falls right across the map. Ooh. He goes in to get a second, but will be shut down by the Jaeger of Psycho. And this is exactly what I'm saying. When push comes to shove, the shots are not being landed by Team 1. The opportunity was there for Falls. I think the detonation of the smoke canister just in front of his face really threw him off. And we find ourselves now with Raps in a tough situation, 1 versus 3, as he gets the first kill onto Muzi. He has got a world of work in front of him to do. The diffuser is cold on the ground. 22 seconds to find 3 kills. Angles all being watched. He looks to push forward. There's a man on the prone. He can't get the first kamikaze. He shuts him down. Raps was low health. It was too big a task for him. NIP guarantee themselves a draw on Cafe. Guarantee themselves 2 points in the matchup. And right now, I can't see any other outcome here than a full 3.
No. It's done, right? Surely this one's already over. It feels like we're back on coastline again. 6-1 scoreline here. NIP always burning bright. But what's scary, right, is you look at it normally and you think, are they going to be the flame that burns twice as bright but for half as long? Doesn't seem like it. It sounds like they're burning bright, but they're burning for a very long time. An eternal flame is what NIP are akin to at the minute. 6 rounds already in the bank. 1 more to put into bed and leave this scoreline done and dusted as a 2-0 victory on their play day. That's a hell of a feat. It's a good game as well, and it also makes Team 1 look tiny and timid. And we know that is 2 things they are definitely not. After what we saw from last season, Tim, after what we've seen from this season as well, this is a hell of a result to pick up, and it has made it look like child's play.
There's no way that Team One are going to be happy with this performance from themselves. You know, I'll say that now. There's absolutely no way. NIP have been very good. We've got to give full credit to them. But Team One would have expected to be more competitive inside of this matchup. And they've shown us time and time again that they can play against the big teams and that they can get results. And they seem to have been caught on a bit of an off day here today, as we've seen a couple of times, just shots not quite landing inside of fights. But like I say, the problem is that NIP, it seems like they're almost at 100% accuracy, Jackie. Every time they go into a fight, it's just bullet after bullet landing. And it only takes 1 or 2 missed shots from Team One for them to lose out on another gunfight and to find themselves on the back foot again. And NIP, they're going to look to finish this one off. They want a strong finish now, and what a message it sends. They've beaten Liquid. They've beaten Team One. You know, who else can come in and realistically take points away from NIP at this stage?
Yeah. Who can? Who can contend with quite literally the behemoths of the scene? The biggest, the brightest, the best, the baddest from Brazil. That's what NIP are looking like. And they are, at this point, lucid dreaming. Because they are living their dream in this game. It's been so easy for them round after round. And they only need one final round to end this game. Right here, right now. 7-1, 2-0 the series. And shut down the chances of Team One getting anything else in this series. We'll find out if that will be the outcome now, though. As we're in once again. Team One, standard play. Take their hatch control, charge their way in, get close towards Cigar. Drones going out and attempting to take control bit by bit. The only thing they're going to take is a nitro to the face, as it'll blow the knees off the wraps and leave him legless. Team One without a leg to stand on into the round as well. It's a 4 versus 5, Tim. 1 minute and 30 seconds. What can they do?
I think that just sums the day up for Team One there quite well. Coming in first minute of the round and getting hit with a nitro. It's just one of those days where that is going to continually happen, and they need to get themselves a frag now, but the problem is going to be time. The top floor hold is still in place for NIP, and where there is a battle over top floor possession, you need to be getting hold of it with enough time to be able to work your magic vertically, open up those angles, get Lukid in there on the book, and really apply some pressure to sight. And for every second that ticks away at the minute, it gets more and more difficult for Team One. Now, they've got a man on the upside down rappel for Leapox on the ace, just looking to make things difficult for Psycho, but he's just going to hold himself tight on the white stairs there. Going to be difficult to challenge, and Dino's taken a little bit of damage on the dock, but he would be able to. What a 2k from Psycho, gets the man on the vertical rappel before hitting the one in white corridor. Muzi will get a kill onto Redux, and this is all but said and done. Balls gets in 1 versus 3 now after an opening kill onto Pino. This is going to be a huge if he can make it. He's got 30 seconds left on the clock, and he has got a dream, but it's certainly a lofty one as he tries to push forward. Kamikaze gets the last. That's going to be Team One shut out of this in quick fashion by an electric NIP, and they are terrifying.
The electric feels. You got a feel for Team One. They have rocked up to this, looking to contend, looking to make this a close competitive series. The only thing they've got is decimation from NIP, leaving them lifeless, literally sapping the life out of them. Muzi performing this time around with 14 frags to his name. Obviously back on coastline it was Psycho with a whopping 19.